Hey everyone, welcome to Selective Prep Mathematics, test number 14. This is our solutions video for the exam. We'll get started straight away with an overview. So our overview is similar to the last few weeks that we've looked at. So we're looking at fractions. So fractions, the common denominator. We use a common denominator when we're trying to add two fractions together. And when we're trying to find a common denominator, what we need to use is the lowest common multiple. So that's the smallest number into which two smaller numbers fit. Okay, so for example, 6 is the lowest common multiple for 2 and 3, right? Seven's not a good example. 10 is the lowest common multiple for 2 and 5. Okay, so 2 and 5 also fit into 20, for example, but 10 is the smallest number into which they fit. So that's your lowest common multiple. So when we find a common denominator, don't try and multiply all the denominators straight off, because that won't give you the common denominator you're looking for. So what you want to do first is obviously simplify. With fractions, we always simplify first, because that never does us any bad. Okay, it's always good for us. So simplify. In our example, we have 4 over 12, 8 over 16, 1 over 24. 4 over 12 becomes 1 over 3. 8 over 16 becomes half when you simplify. Then 1 over 24 stays as 1 over 24. Now, the lowest common multiple between 3, 2, and 24 is 24. Okay, so 3 fits into 24, 2 fits into 24, 24 fits into 24. So what we're going to try and do now is, now that we found our lowest common multiple, that's what we're going to try and make all our denominators into. So 1 on 3, multiply top and bottom by 8, becomes 8 on 24. Half, multiply top and bottom by 12, becomes 12 on 24. 1 on 24 stays the same. Add them together, you get 21 over 24. Happy days. Now multiplying by a fraction. When we multiply by a fraction, it's obviously you got to simplify. But after you simplify, it's always best to divide by the denominator before multiplying by the numerator. Basically, what a fraction is you have a top and a bottom, and you're dividing by the bottom. Okay, you're dividing the top by the bottom. Now, when we have, let's say, x, some random number, times 12 over 16, 17. Okay, so that's the same as x times 12 divided by 17. So I want to divide by 17 first, if I can, to make the number smaller. Because, why? Because smaller numbers are easier to calculate with, or use to calculate. So for example, the example here, 43 over 96 times 192, can't simplify any further. So that's the same as 192 times 43 divided by 96. Now I can divide by 96 first to get 2, and then multiply it by 43 to get 86. Okay, and I can do that in my head. I don't need to write that out. Okay, versus 192 times 43 first, then I need to start writing out, because I can't do that in my head. All right, when you start writing out, it takes longer. Okay, 192 times 43 would take ages to calculate compared to 192 divided by 96. Okay, now keeping that in mind, let's get started with our question. So question 1 was a volume question. This one was a little bit tricky because you needed to take this smaller block and kind of flip it around so that it fit into this larger prism nicely. So what I would have wanted to do is 4 fits into the 12 centimeters, so it fits in nicely, fits in 3 times. 3 fits into the 18 centimeters, and then 2 fits into the 14 centimeters. So basically, I want to flip it around so each side matches up. So 2 centimeters, 4 here, and then 3 this way. Okay, so 3 centimeters like this, 4 centimeters like this, 2 centimeters like this. So this way, it's going to fit into here 6 times. Vertically, it's going to fit 3 times. And then horizontally, it's going to fit 7 times. So what we're going to do is 7 times 6 times 3. So 7 times 6 is 42, times 3 is 126. Question 2, Danny takes 6 minutes to paint the walls of his living room. So I'll call that L. 6 mins. Bathroom, 3 times longer, so 18 minutes. 5 times as long to paint the bedroom, so BA versus BE. Make sure you make good representative letters so you don't get mixed up. So 5 times as long, so that's 30 minutes. and half as long to paint his study, so that'll be 3 minutes. How long does it take to paint the whole house? So 18 plus 30 is 48, plus 6 is 54, plus 3 is 57. Alright, question 3. Student squares a number. The answer ends in 2. That is not possible. Okay, the student made a mistake. Unless the number was root 2, that's not a proper number. Okay, that's not a whole number. So it's D. The student made a mistake. There's a satellite moving around the Earth at an orbit of 2,300 kilometers from Earth. Every 30 minutes, the radius of the orbit increases by 60 kilometers. So after 24 hours, that's 48 lots of 30 minutes. So 48 times 60. What I'm going to do is just 48 times 6 and then multiply it by 10 later. 6 times 4, so that's 2. So that's 2,880 kilometers over 24 hours. That's a lot of kilometers. So the Earth has a radius of approximately 6,378. So from the center to the outside, that's 6,378. The satellite was originally moving at an orbit of 2,300 kilometers. All right, and then it's moved out another 2,880 kilometers. So we need to add all those together. So 8, 5, 1 gets moved to the top, another 5, 1 gets moved to the top, and then 11. So it should be 11,558 kilometers. Question 5. The price of a packet of 5 lollies is $3.50. So in that packet of 5 lollies, 1 lolly equals 70 cents. Now, a large container of 120 lollies costs 54 cents. So if we do 5,400 divided by 120, okay, we can get rid of this. So 12 goes into 54 4 times, so that's 48, leaves over 6, which it goes into 5 times, so 45 cents per lolly in this 120 container. So that's 25 cents cheaper than the first one. Question 6. Brianna has $66 more than Christina. So Brianna equals Christina plus 66. Joey has 7 times as much as Christina. So Joey equals 7C. Now together Brianna and Joey have $98. How much does Christina have? So let's rewrite this in terms. So it's going to be B plus J equals $98. So instead of B, I'm going to write C plus 66. Instead of J, I'm going to write 7C. So that equals 98. So 8C equals, I'm going to move the 66 over, 98 minus 66. So that is equal to 32. So C is equal to 4. So question 7. 7x plus 2y equals 24 and x plus y equals 7. So this is a bit of simultaneous equations. I've actually forgotten to add this into the overview, but we'll definitely be going over it again soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So x plus y, let's find y in terms of x. So y equals 7, and move the x over, minus x. Okay, and this value of y, I'm going to substitute into here. So 7x plus 2, and then instead of y, I'm going to rewrite as 7 minus x, because they're the same thing, equals 24. Now I have the whole equation in terms of x, and I can find what x is equal to. So 7x plus 14 minus 2x equals 24. So move this over here. So 5x equals, and then move the 14 over, gives you 10, x equals 2. Oh, the only answer that's where we have x equals 2 is C. Okay, now you can sub in x equals 2 into here. So 2 plus y equals 7. To find what y is y equal to 5? Yes, it is. What fraction is halfway between 3 on 7 and 3 on 8? Okay, so let's find out what these are when we write them as the same denominator. So common denominator between 7 and 8, lowest one is 56. So let's make 3 on 7 in terms of 56. So multiply top and bottom by 8 times 8. We're going to get 24 over 56. 3 on 8, multiply top and bottom by 7. We're going to get 21 over 56. So that's this fraction. This is this fraction. So the midline would be 22.5 over 56. That would be the middle. But we don't want a decimal on the top, so we're going to multiply top and bottom by 2, which gives us 45 over 112. So that's E. Now, when a certain number is divided by 18, the result is the same as when the number is decreased by 289. So x divided by 18 is the same as x minus 289. So let's move the 18 over. So x equals 18 times x minus 289. So x equals 18x minus 289 times 18. Well, let's not do that just yet. So I'm going to move this over this way, move this over this way, so I get 289 times 18 equals 17x. Now I'm going to move the 17 over, divide it. So 289 divided by 17. I'm going to do the divided first because that's easier than multiplying it. So 17 goes into 28 once, leaves over 11. 17 goes into 119 7 times. So we're going to get 17 times 18 equals x. So what's 18 times 17? 7 times 8 is 56, 5, 12, and then 306. Okay, so x is 306. Question 10, we have the area of a triangle. Okay, but we only want to find the area of the shaded areas. What we can do, so they're all equal triangles. There's 4 of them, 3 of them are shaded. So we're going to find the area of the whole triangle, multiply it by 3/4. So the height of this triangle is also 3 centimeters. That means the height of this triangle in total is 6 centimeters. The base is 14. Okay, and then the area is going to be that times half. So it's going to be the same as 6 times 7. Okay, which is 42 centimeters squared. Now, divide that by 4. Is 1, 0, and then carry the 2 over. 10.5 is 1/4. Now, 3/4 is going to be 31.5 centimeters squared. Okay, which is A. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this solutions video. That one was pretty quick. The key points to take away is that when we're adding fractions with different denominators, use the lowest common multiple to find what the common denominator is, or to find out what common denominator you should have. Also, when we're multiplying by fractions, or when we even have like divide and times, okay, unless actually, when we're multiplying by fractions, let's keep it as when we're multiplying by fractions, it's always good to divide by the denominator first, if possible, and then multiply it by the numerator. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this solutions video. Good job, guys. I will see you in the next solutions video.